All right, we're back. This is actually going to be technically episode 6 that we labeled it because we're rescheduling one, uh, Xander and Andrew's episode, but we're back. Bonsai Boys episode, we're calling it 6. Got Bo and Shota here. Shota, how are you doing?
We're back. We're back. I'm doing well. Just came off a fresh win in Birmingham. Congrats, Bo.
Congrats to you as well.
uh,
I mean,
thank you, brother.
we
Thank
had
you.
a lot of teams out there, so Uh,
Way
so,
too many. Way
but
too many.
yeah, we got to have outsiders practice with our our women's team, so that was interesting. Uh, but
uh,
actually, it was
Regardless, the
a better.
tournament went well.
Yeah, and it was a better tournament than I thought it was gonna be. Like going into it, I kind of had low expectations, but it was actually a pretty solid tournament overall. So shout out Tree and Sean McMahon for running it and stuff like that. They did a good job, and
Factorial.
the Factorin always as well. I threw a catch to Factorin. I only threw two catches, and I threw it to Nick and Eden. So uh, tough, but
You said the
but
oldest person at the tournament and the youngest person at the tournament.
yeah, I wasn't sure if Nick was the oldest player, but maybe. But yeah, could have been. But it's fine. With the bat and balls, I'll take only two catches. So
Yeah, I can't say the same.
that's fair. And mixed, I threw a lot more. We'll just say that. But anyway, show, do you preview like what we have coming up in the next couple weeks?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Also, shout out Mitch and Dodgeball Live. Thank you as always. So the next few weeks we are going to be going over the teams selected for Team USA. So men's foam, women's foam, mixed foam, men's cloth, women's cloth, and mixed cloth. If you have certain people you want to hear from, let us know in the comments. I know we already have a few people lined up, but then we also are going to go over a recap of Beast Coast, which we are very excited to do with Sam Sayward and Dylan Cruz. That will probably be a crazy episode. We'll also probably know if the Knicks won the finals. So we'll see if Dylan's on demon time. But
That's
other
true.
than that, we'll probably start introducing our guest for today. Our first guest is Katie Sanchez. She's a Team USA vet, a four-time medalist, two golds, one silver, and one bronze. Beast, a beast.
Dog.
She's been in the game for a while now, and we're very excited to talk to her about dodgeball. We're trying to match up with some vets and newbies. So for our next guest, we also have Alexis Schultz, the weapon, the
The
weapon.
weapon.
Her
Let's
first
go.
time making Team USA. She's a four-time National Player of the Year for NCDA and a two-time
Yeah,
national champ for NCDA as well. She's kind of a dog.
a little bit.
How are y'all doing
Decent.
today?
Hi, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having
Of
us.
course.
No problem. Congrats on making the team as well. How are you both feeling about it initially?
I'm super excited. I think we have like a good mix of vets and new players, and just after the experience we had together in Mexico, I'm really looking forward to that continuing. So
I'm really excited. I know that from what I mean, this will be my first Worlds, but just with so many other teams being there, I'm really excited to see all different players in the talent level and what different countries have to bring.
Yeah, definitely. And thought Mexico City was a great start for y'all. Y'all looked really good down in Mexico City. So excited to see that continue in Thailand. Did you get a chance to see they kind of gave a preview of the venue. Did you get a chance to check that out at all?
I just saw the pictures. And then we like talked about it in like our team chat. So
Mhm.
it looks cool in terms of like there's going to be like a lot of eyes and people around. So like the interest could be pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think the setup looked really cool. It'll be
Yeah.
fun.
I think just like the
There's AC.
yeah, that's
There's
gonna be
AC.
huge.
Let's
That is gonna be
go.
huge. Because the yeah,
We
like
need that.
obviously in Austria was insane for you guys the last time. So it's gonna be like a
We
breath of
almost
fresh
lost
air,
Dylan.
literally. Yeah.
My
Yeah, like
goodness.
in
It was
hindsight, pretty
crazy.
wild that we were playing in those conditions.
Yeah.
So
Um almost malpractice that y'all had to go through that, and amazing everybody came out alive. But yeah, I mean, with like the streaming quality and the production level, like rising almost every tournament we saw with the Champions Tour, with the tournament that Armando put on. I'm really looking forward to seeing what the production quality is going to look like for Worlds. I think it's going to look insane. So I'm sure they're going to have a really good setup for it. But cool. Let's jump into first. We want to touch on Alexis, your college journey, because I'm pretty sure the three of us we did not play college dodgeball, and we're pretty interested on kind of how that all works. So I guess like firstly, like how did you get started in dodgeball in general?
Yeah, so when I was a freshman at the University of Akron, I actually was looking to play club softball, and I went to our club sports manager because like I didn't see it on the club sports list, and he was like, "Oh, the girl who ran it last with COVID and everything, it just the transition didn't really happen well, so they didn't really have a team that fell through." And he's like, "If you want to run it and take it over, you can do that. Otherwise, we don't have a team right now." And I was like, "Oh man, like that kind of stinks," because I wanted to play. Because I played softball like all through high school. I played other sports too, but that was like my main one, my favorite. But they have this big freshman recruiting fair at the beginning of the year, and I was walking by one of the tables, and it was dodgeball, and one of them like threw one at me. They're like, "You should sign up for this. Like, you look like you'd be good," even though I was like every other person who'd walk by their table. But I was like, "Okay, I'll sign up." It
Yeah.
sounded fun, so I signed up. I went to the first day of practice, and there's not a ton of girls in the college league, but it's definitely growing. But at like my first practice specifically, there were 3 other girls, and like because we all came together, we kind of stuck around, and it was just we all stuck around from there on. So yeah, since my freshman year is when I joined.
Nice. Pretty successful, four-time national player of the year. And then you guys ended up winning the first women's national championship, right? So
Yeah.
before that, did you have to the women have to play with the men, or if you wanted to play, or like how did that work?
So yeah, right now well, okay. When I started, it's open, which it still is, but it's girls and guys, and there's like no limit to the amount of girls or guys that are on the court at one time. It can be whatever. It's just whoever's the best gets to play, and that's how it is. That's how it was my first 2 years. That's how it always was. And then my third year was my second year they started doing women's kind of events. Like they hosted a clinic at Bowling Green. It was like no sting. So all of my first 2 years was only pinch, 8.5 pinch.
Okay.
Or there might have been a little bit. No, my second year. Sorry, my second year is when I think the first time I played with no sting, but that was only for women specifically, not for the open division. But they did like a couple one-off events that were just like trying to get girls involved. And then the third year was the first official year that they had a women's league, which is no sting, and there were I think 8 teams at the first women's nationals. They also do mixed teams because sometimes schools don't have enough to just like keep it going. So if you don't have like it's 6-on-6 for no sting. Okay. So if you don't have enough girls, you can like mix with another institution and still play. But yeah, that was the first year, and then this past spring was the third year for women's. So
okay. Nice. So I guess like how do you feel like the play style is different from college to I guess the USA tour that you're kind of used to ish now? Because you kind of go back and forth still, right? Like you still play NDA.
Yeah. I feel like playing NDA and NCDA, it's a lot. It feels more chaotic. It feels faster, and it feels a little more strategic playing USA and a little slower because like people talk more about what they're gonna do. I feel like when I play NDA and NCDA, we talk, but it's like we'll have a like set play, but then if like one ball is thrown out of line, because there's more balls, I think this is what happens. You can throw more and not lose ball control as much because there's so many balls on the court. Because in college it's 10 and in NDA it's 8. So if you see a shot, you just take it. So it's a lot of like very chaotic moments very quickly, and you need to be good at adapting very quickly and like keeping your head up, or else you're gonna get hit. Which I know obviously is a thing in USA, but it happens a lot more frequently in NCDA and NDA, I would say.
And both it's full courts, right? Full like length basketball courts.
So NCDA and Open, it's a full basketball court. NDA, it's almost, but it's a little bit smaller. So the throw line's a little closer. It's not a basketball court, but it's not the volleyball court either. It's kind of in between. Okay. And then the women's division is the volleyball court.
Because you guys play no sting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then I feel like we always joke around, at least like the guys do, like the foam guys, of like how we would do if we came and we played like your college guys, how like you put a bunch of like USA foam guys against your guys in NCDA, how we would do against them, and then how would they do against us in foam. You kind of understand it probably the best, like you and our guy Austin Morley, since he also played college in USA. Like, how do you think, in your opinion, we would translate, and how would they translate to us?
I would say pinch definitely has a bigger learning curve. So I played softball like for a long time, and I just feel like learning how to pinch the ball. Some people throw open really hard, so like just like this, and it works for them and they pick it up really quickly. But if you can't do that, which seems to be most people, you throw a lot harder when you pinch. It takes a while to pick up. And I feel like catching also took me a while to learn. So I guess like since I already had the catching background coming into foam, it probably translated a little better than if I would have just started from ground zero. But I feel like it would probably be harder to go from foam to pinch than it would be from pinch to foam. But I don't think it's like impossible. I think the throw is just a little bit harder to pick up. And I also think with foam it's unique because the ball moves a lot more. So it's a little bit, that is the one thing to foam. It's like harder to place the ball sometimes because you have to get used to like the way it's going to curve. Whereas pinch, it's, unless you like have a really big sidearm, sometimes it, at least for my throw, it doesn't curve a ton. So yeah, I think it's harder to transition from foam to pinch than from pinch to foam.
Just say we would lose. just say we would lose.
Different, like, I think it'd be interesting to see cloth because I think translate a lot better. Like with pinch, I feel like I did really well catching cloth balls because I played pinch, but I think the catching would be quite similar.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sounds like one thing that boys, they need to come and play with us.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean that kind of alludes to my
USA, just like you.
Yeah, I mean that kind of alludes to our next question. It's kind of like how do we get more of the college players to come play USA Tour and things like that? Not necessarily like they need to get away from NDA once they graduate college, but we don't want to take that away. But getting them to try foam or try cloth and things like that, because like Zach Fernald came and now he's on Team USA. Daniel Fernald, I think, could easily make practice squad. And then, on the women's side, you have a bunch of ladies who came from college that are now on USA too. So, like, what do you think we need to do to kind of recruit more college people?
I will say the travel probably doesn't help because the college league is very centralized. Like, I don't think I've driven more than 6 hours for a tournament. and I've never flown for like, I mean, I'm talking about college specifically, and
Yeah.
NDA honestly, like because it's very Ohio, Michigan centralized, and it's definitely expanding. Like there are some southern teams, there's a lot of central teams that are growing, but I think that doesn't help because why would they like want to travel to a farther tournament when they have like a league that's more central, which isn't something that like, I mean, hosting tournaments like in Ohio, Michigan regions would definitely help, but otherwise like it's hard to get people to want to travel if they haven't before for dodgeball. Like I remember the first time I really traveled for dodgeball. So my first USA tournament was in Cleveland, which I'm 45 minutes away. I drove. One of my friends,
Yeah.
Rennie, invited me. She's like, "Hey, my team needs a sub. Do you want to come play?" And because I'd already played like at a local round, then my next tournament was Minnesota. So I feel like if
Okay.
they had like one local round that was like near them and then could try it without having to fly somewhere, then they'd be a little more like, oh, okay, like maybe I like this, so like let me go now somewhere else so I can play. But
So Dustin, if you're watching or listening, Cleveland round next year, if it's there, don't make it no sting.
not necessarily Cleveland, but around
Hamilton.
Ohio, Michigan. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Hamilton round, make that foam or a cloth, so then we can get the college people to go try that one. But that actually that makes total sense, and I didn't even think about that until you said that because that makes total sense. Because when I look at like the top 25 rankings of NCDA, the top ones are like the Michigan States, the Grand Valleys, Akron, Ohio State. Illinois, like they're all up there and they're all very Midwest. Yeah. So that makes total sense. If we have a Midwest round, it should be like foam cloth. So that makes total sense.
I will say too, like a lot of the NCDA, they're college kids. Like for me, so my degree was unique because I like co-op, so I worked full time for like a semester and then went to school, then worked. So I had like the finances to travel while I was still in college, but not a lot of college kids have that. And I think that's definitely a big barrier, especially if you're just getting out of college and like trying to balance that. I mean, NDA, like, yeah, they're a little bit more removed, a little bit older. They'd have the money to travel if they wanted to, but especially if like you're trying to get college kids to come, flying to a tournament is like some of them can't even barely afford to come to NDA tournaments. Like in the all you have to pay is like the entry fee, but you're driving, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if you drive there and back day of, so I think that's definitely also a big factor.
All right. Set Midwest foam cloth round, recent grad discount.
But
I think.
All
right, we're on to something.
Yeah, discount. Just like getting a flight somewhere to play dodgeball like is not in the cards for some people who are in college, unfortunately. So
that makes total sense. It is expensive to do what we do. So that makes sense. Super interesting journey. But yeah, show. On to Katie. Yes.
All right. So, same question as Alexis. How did you get into dodgeball? And you're based in Arizona, right?
Yeah, I am. So I was born in Ohio though, so Lex and I have that in common. So big dodgeball breeding ground, apparently.
Yes.
But I moved out to Arizona when I was like 6 and lived here since, except for college. I went away to college and then moved back. So the way I got into dodgeball, I'm a high school teacher, and one of my teaching friends, she was playing in the local league at the time, which was AZ dodgeball, and she found out that I played softball in college, and so she got me to come out to like an open gym. And obviously, like for dodgeball, the skills just match up super well because it's throwing and it's catching, just at like a much faster pace, which makes it more fun than like slow pitch softball. So I was pretty hooked like from that open gym. And then it helped. She like basically put me on her teams, which were like winning the league every season. So it was like I had that like immediate success with the first league that I was in because I joined a team of like the best Arizona players at the time. Like they were super tight, and so that really helped me kind of stick around with it. And so that was kind of the start of my dodgeball. And at the time that was like 8.5. So we were playing like 8.5 co-ed with the neutral zone situation. And we did women's also, but like co-ed 8.5 was like the big thing. And then women's like slowly grew from there.
That's insane. 8.5 neutral zone.
Yeah, no thanks.
I remember playing that
Yeah.
and I got that. I'm
Yeah,
sure
now
Alexis
I'm like,
could
oh,
succeed in that.
yeah, like I'm like, oh, that was so dumb, but after that, I was like, hell yeah.
Don't hurt Alexis's feelings, all right?
Ouch.
No, I'm just kidding. So now you have what? It's cactus dodgeball now in the area.
Yeah, so our local league is Cactus Dodgeball, and so that is all foam. So that came from like Bill and Santi started like the international dodgeball trips, which then turned into like the WDBF championships. And so they ran NDO, which was like the local foam league. And then when they stepped down, Cactus kind of like filled that void. And so Grace and Hooch started Cactus, and now Tony and my husband are running that with a group of people who help us run it. So so that's foam.
That's very
competitive,
nice.
mostly USA rule set, with a little differences. So
Perfect.
and so that's where most
I
of the
remember
people
visiting Arizona. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
I just said I remember visiting Arizona and like playing in one of your league nights, and it was like very welcoming. And you guys have some sort of like rating system, I think, right? Like there's like you rate your players to where like you can't have like a super subbing for a player that's not rated as high or something to make it more even.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we tier or do like a point system for all the players. So like even on the build your own team seasons, it can't be like a stacked USA team against, like our local rec players, which is kind of not fun. I think that kind of turns people off from dodgeball a lot of times, is like if they don't have that success their first time, or like something that they could do well in it is so that's difficult. So that's one of the best things we do, is all the teams are pretty even. And yeah, you couldn't have like you and Bo could not be on a team together. Sorry.
It's
I
fair.
wouldn't want to be
We
on
play-
this team anyways.
We play together enough.
So it helps to keep it fair and fun for everyone. So even if a team does like win the season, like Dylan's teams or Andrew's teams, like there's still like a high level of competitiveness, and like the games are always close and everything. So it's been really good.
Very nice. So this kind of goes into my next question. You've seen like all the changes around in Arizona and how Arizona dodgeball has changed over the years. Do you want to just touch upon like maybe all the changes that you've seen in the women's game throughout your career?
Yeah. I've seen a lot, even from like the ball type changes. So like we were playing 8.5 when I started, and so those balls are really hard to throw because you couldn't pinch when we were playing. Like pinching was not allowed. So you had a lot of girls like throwing sidearm or struggling to kind of figure out their form. So it was a really big catching game. And so the teams that kind of dominated were the ones that threw the best. And then as we transition into like no sting, and then now into foam, which seems to be predominant for the women, like just the athleticism that the game is played with is much higher for like all levels, and especially for the elite teams. So that kind of like court movement, I think Kate Gong calls it like Civil War dodgeball, which is how it used to be. It was like one team stomps up to the front line and throws one 8.5 ball, and then they retreat, and then it's like, okay, then it's like the next team's turn. And that's kind of how it used to be. And so that's much different now, where you do have a little bit of that because teams are, strategizing and everything, but then there's like those huge bursts of movement and people, jumping in the air 10 feet to the left and, throwing over their shoulder and all that kind of stuff. So it's really fun to see that style of play across like all of the leagues and teams. Because thinking back to like when I first started playing, like there were just a few players playing like that, and they were like they were obviously the top tier players. And now you have so many more players like adding that kind of stuff into their game.
Nice. So, were you throwing the 8.5 ball underhand at all?
I think I tried, but no, that's something I've actually gotten better at the last few years. I think as like age has hit me is, it's mainly self-preservation of like, okay, what can I do that's still effective, but can work at a high level. And so that's probably really helped save my arm a little bit, especially like at open gyms and stuff. Like if I don't have enough time to warm up, like underhand is just the easier throw to go to. So that's been kind of nice to actually see that become a strength, because I definitely didn't always do that. No.
Were you a pitcher in college at all, or did you just pick that up just from playing softball?
I pitched like through 8th grade, which is like anybody can pitch all the way through 8th grade. But then I threw like batting practice in college, mainly because I could throw accurate strikes, like kind of the hard enough throwing, but I was never like a competitive pitcher either in high school or in college. No.
That makes sense why it translates though. Whenever I watch you and you do your underhand throw, you're like very accurate. So that makes sense that like the BP translated really well into dodgeball.
Yeah, well, like that's all you do in college is like repetition of everything. So if I was throwing batting practice, I was throwing half the team. So it was like, 200 plus pitches or something crazy.
Damn. That's just practice. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
They got you ready for a tournament again.
Yeah.
You hit me with one of those at nationals last year in mixed. It went like the full length of the court.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I wasn't looking. I finger blocked it. I was like, it was a good throw.
I love hitting guys when they're not watching.
Yeah, I think I was like, we were gonna call a play or something, and then the ball just came. In.
You and Dylan Clark Oden both.
Yeah.
All right. So you've been on some legendary teams throughout your career, like Heat and Invasion. What has been like the best part of being on these teams and like playing with all these legendary players, including yourself?
It's been fun. I liked playing on Heat, although I laugh sometimes because I feel like I've really only played like 3 tournaments with them, because I played with them at like Nationals 2019, and then obviously like COVID hit for the next season, and it was like, okay. And so then we lost like 2 years off of that. And so I think we've made like a cameo appearance since then. So I just kind of giggle when people are like, oh, you're on Heat. And I was like, kind of. I have the jersey.
That's fair.
I've been on Invasion since I think 2018, and they were founded in 2012. And that's been really great for both like my dodgeball development and like playing at like the highest of levels, like with and against teams, because we've gotten, a lot of us have gone to Worlds, and that's helped our Worlds team, is to have that like team chemistry, and also obviously like playing at the USA tournaments and everything else. So it's been really obviously good and instrumental in my career to be playing with those girls. So, and it's fun to think that like, okay, now we're not just teammates anymore. It's like, those are like, good friends, great friends, best friends kind of stuff. So Yeah.
Very nice. Were you guys always pretty successful since the beginning? Like since you were always on, or when you first got on the team?
Well, yeah, because they were successful before me. So
Oh,
um,
gotcha, gotcha. That's fair.
the like back then the two top teams were Invasion and Pop That, I would say, and then there was Money Shot had a kind of short but great run, and then I think Love Tap, where I first started to see Crystal and Karina, and then they obviously formed Finesse. But Invasion and Pop That were kind of like the long time like elite women's teams. And before I was on Invasion, I was playing on like a really good Arizona team. Like we started out as Ballbusters, and we played against Kelly Salamoni's Beavers team. And so we were really good. And Invasion was really good. It was like those were always like the top 3 teams kind of situation. So then I joined them because of world stuff. Like I played with them at Worlds in 2017, and then I joined the team in 2018.
Very nice. Yeah, us three, we're pretty new, I guess, compared to you, so we don't really know too much about the history before 2020. Um, so thank you for giving us that little history lesson right there.
Yeah.
So you are married. Yeah, sorry. So you are married to Tony, right? Tony Sanchez.
Yes, I would be.
That handsome man. He's the coach of
Yes.
Mexico. Was that weird? Was that weird? Like, I guess going against your husband in the finals in Mexico City.
Um,
Like, do you guys like talk some shit to each other?
yes, in a joking way, but actually, I think we like help support each other a lot. Like one of a dodgeball memory from like 2022 in Edmonton is he flew up to Edmonton like just for the weekend to support me, and he like shagged for our team in the medal rounds and everything else. And so just having him be there has been really nice. And then as he's gotten into coaching, I hopefully he would say that I've also like helped to support him and like, talking about his players and his drills and like, how coaching looks and works. So it's been really good. And I would say there's no like conflict of interest. There's like a joking conflict of interest, but nothing serious. And I'm really proud of the job he's done. So I think that team has really improved, and he's helped kind of like stabilize it. And they're, when we played them in Mexico, I think that was like the best I'd seen them play as a team, and that was personally exciting for me to see him be a part of that. So
I definitely agree with that. Like when we were watching the round robin game that y'all had against them,
yeah,
I was like very impressed with how the women were playing, like from both sides, but especially from the Mexico team because they were like giving you guys a hard time. And normally,
yeah,
like I feel like when I watch Team USA, they don't get too flustered, but it was a little bit different.
yeah, we struggled, and they were playing well, and they've got a lot of good talent. And the thing that they do well there too is like they develop a lot of like young talent. So like, we're playing their U20 team also, and obviously they're just younger and less experienced, but like they have a lot of great talent there that they're gonna be working with for quite a while. So
Yeah, they're all doing a great job over there in Mexico. I know like Gigi and all the coaches over there, like they do a really good job of teaching all those kids and like just being very invested in them. And it's gonna really show one day at Worlds. I'm just hopefully they get the funding so we can see all of them out there. That would be very nice. But if not, I still would love to see them back in Mexico City again. But shout out to your husband. He's doing great things over there. And then we can transition to selection camp. You want to go ahead with that, Bo?
Yeah. before we get into that, Dylan and I, when we were in Mexico City, we got to visit Gigi and Roy at, I think they work at a school there, and we got to play dodgeball with some of the kids at the school, and that was pretty cool. And I think the age range was from like, I think like 4 or 5 to like 11 or 12, and like some of them threw pretty hard for being 6 or 7 years old. And it's just really cool how much they invest so early in the kids there, and like they really enjoyed the sport and stuff like that. And how they thought it was really cool that like we came to see them and stuff like that. And like when Gigi and Roy were telling me like how many kids just around Mexico in general are playing dodgeball, like it's just an insane amount. So I'm really excited to see how Mexico develops within the next like few cycles. And even when we played the U20 boys team, like they were flying around too. So I think Mexico is going to be in a really good spot for a long time. So I'm glad Tony's a part of that because he's a great guy. But still the enemy though at Worlds. For now. Great guy though, handsome guy. Still the enemy.
Every year I'm like, am I allowed to stay in a hotel room with him, or do we need to
Oh
like?
yeah, how does that work? Are you?
Well, we were able to stay together. One year they had to stay all together. I think it was like in LA, and it was like our 5-year anniversary or something, and we had to like. I was like, I'm 30 something and asking permission from like the coaches, like, can I go to dinner with my husband on our anniversary? It was
That's
just
crazy.
It's such a weird thing because I'm like, oh, I'm a grown up, but like, I know how team rules operate and that kind of stuff, and I want to respect that structure, and so does he. So, but it was it was a very strange feeling. So.
Yeah. Interesting. But yeah, I mean, moving on to selection camp and activations. The men's side and the women's side, like the foam, for those who don't know, the foam side and the cloth side, they had their own kind of separate gyms. But the men's and women's, we kind of split our gym in half. So, for at least parts of the days. But so I couldn't really. Was able to look over. We were able to look over every once and then to see what you guys were doing. But I'm interested from your guys' perspective, like how was camp for you guys?
Alexis, you want to talk?
Sure. I thought it went really well. I think that we did a little bit. It was a little more drill heavy, at least at first, I would say, compared to the practice we did in Kansas for Mexico City. But I really enjoyed, we ran through like situationals that first day too, which I think really helped. And it was like really nice to see what everyone could do. I did like how on the second day though, we just kind of got to play with our teams because it was nice to see kind of how we meshed together and stuff like that.
Nice. And Katie, was it the same as like old camps that you've been to, or was it a little different this time?
I think really the only thing that was a little different was we stayed in the teams that we had, and we didn't mix up throughout the week. We just changed which of the teams that we were playing against, and that helped in terms of like settling your like team lineups and everything, I guess, and like who's playing where, because sometimes when it's like the 6 of you, it's like, okay, where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? And then it's like a new 6 the next like 20 minutes. And it's like, you got to figure that out all over again.
Right.
So kind of like by the end of it, like our team, I felt like had developed a good chemistry. And then I liked the, we did like a couple, what was it? Like 1 on 3 or like 2 on whatever. I like those situational things because I feel like, and we'll probably do more of those when we're like practicing, just because it takes up the whole court, but it's not really involving a whole lot of people, which is unfortunate. I want to make sure we do a lot of that in practice. So.
Yeah. That makes sense. And I'm assuming they gave you your teams ahead of time, like they did for us, so then you can kind of like game plan ahead of time going into the weekend.
Yeah, we had a little team chat going, um, just talking about like where we're comfortable playing and if anybody had questions about the playbook, that kind of thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. And then so selections come out, you have your team. How do you feel about the team structure, maybe compared to last Worlds, like moving into this one? Like how are you feeling about it?
Uh, well, it'd be awkward if I said I was upset they chose Alexis now, but
I mean, you already told us off the record, but
Katie's hazing me.
I mean,
Uh,
no one was expecting her to be on
She
it.
always hazes
So
the
it
new
was,
people.
yeah.
you
Total
gotta show
shock she
them all
was
the
on it.
stupid AI pictures you've made of me, and then they'll understand.
Should I hold it up? Should I hold it up to the screen?
I like the roster. I think it's a good kind of like Mexico. It's like a good mix of experience, which I think is just like vital to Worlds teams, and then new faces because that kind of keeps it fresh for us old players. Like I don't think they really know, but like I had such a good time in Mexico, like playing with Alexis and KD and Morgan and Jana and Aurora and Carla was on the team for Mexico. Like getting to play with people having like their first Worlds experience is just like really cool. And so it keeps things new because it's really easy for like the old players to like we're set in our ways, and so if you get a bunch of old people around it's a little boring, and there might be like a been here before kind of attitude, and so I think it's like a great mix of personalities and experience and everything else, so I'm really happy.
Yeah, I mean, like I can't really attest to last Worlds, but I definitely really like the group, and everyone, at least from like Mexico, was so welcoming, so willing to help, so willing to just like be there for you, and I feel like we mesh really well together as well. I also found the AI. Wait, no, it's literally, you can't see it. Why is the lighting so bad?
Is it like
The
is it
lighting
like The
is so bad.
Simpsons?
No, it's supposed to be Total Drama Island. I'll probably get your podcast copyrighted. I don't know why the lighting is so bad.
I look
I don't.
it's like
I
an
don't think
AI picture of me and I look like Poe,
It's
the
good.
soldier
Just
from
trust me,
Mulan.
it's really good.
Oh, okay.
The lighting's not
Uh,
that bad when I look at it, but
You'll have to
oh
message
man,
it to us in the chat.
I'm sending it right
Um,
now.
but that's funny. Uh, I remember in Mexico City that y'all were talking, or someone from the team was talking about the Instagram that you guys have, that you guys share like funny memes about like each other and stuff like that. I don't know who
That
runs
was
that.
me.
Oh yeah, okay,
Alexis
yeah.
is running that.
Yeah, okay,
I need
yeah.
to get up on my game though. I've been slacking. Now that I
I
have
mean,
a little less to do,
yeah.
I'll get back on my
Uh,
game.
that's fair. That can be part of the preparation for Worlds. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, so like going on with like the team structure, do you think with the roster I have the roster pulled up, do you think between, last cycle and this cycle, do you think the play style will change a little bit? I Because like the meta for foam, it seems like everyone's moving to like kind of a faster pace, like run you down style of dodgeball. Like, do you think like our team is gonna adapt more to that this time around? Like, what are you guys thinking?
I agree. I think like we've got a quicker lineup. Like Alexis is fast, Grace is hella fast. And so I think we just have players who are comfortable playing like that quick play style.
Mhm.
And so I think I said it earlier, like sometimes like high level dodgeball, like it goes really slow, and then there's like a flurry of activity, and it's like you have to be comfortable in that. And I think like the roster we have is gonna like thrive in that. So they're like super comfortable playing that. Like Alexis was talking about, you know, all the 10 balls in college games. That's like super for your court awareness.
Mhm.
I mean, we've all seen KD like hit 3 people out and then like catch 2 balls all in like 10 seconds. So, and obviously everybody else that I'm not naming also right now. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I think you have a good roster of players that are okay playing any type of tempo, which I think is different from teams that you've had in the past. Like you can play fast, you can play kind of medium, kind of play a slower game, like if you need to kill some clock or things like that. So I think I'm really excited to see this team perform extremely well at Worlds. So that's really cool. Alexis, like how are you feeling about like the play style of the team as well?
I definitely think we could play quicker. I mean, like I said, I can't talk like too much on past years, but I definitely think we have a lot of players. Like I know when Katie was talking, if she didn't mention KD, I definitely was going to say something because she was on my team at camp and she's very quick off the back line. So I definitely
Yeah.
think we could play a lot faster if we
Yep.
want to go that route.
Yep. Yeah. We in the Minnesota round, not this past one, but the year before, me, Dylan, and Nick Danchenko went to the Minnesota Dodgeball. They have like a open play or something like that, and their open play is that they just throw out like 20 balls and just like go play. And me and Dylan afterwards, we were like, okay, we totally understand why Hunter and KD play the way that they play. It's because like and why they're so comfortable in absolute chaos because like they play in those open plays so they can throw, hit 3 people, and then turn and just catch somebody. And they're always like, when you watch them play, like their eyes are just always everywhere, and that makes total sense. Like after we went to one of those open plays, so yeah, she's someone that I really enjoy watching play for sure. Um, yeah, show you want to touch on like how they're prepping for Thailand?
Sure.
he's going to be like, how are you prepping
So-
for Thailand?
No, literally. Like you asked the question already, bro.
Well, that was the next segment. The next segment
I know.
what are we doing
Well,
next?
so you guys have a few months till Worlds. I guess like instead of what are you going to do to prepare for Worlds, what are like the things you want to focus on so you can have like a successful run at Worlds as a team? Maybe individually you can talk about that too, and then maybe as a team as well. If that question makes sense.
For me personally, it's going to be working out, like getting in shape for Worlds, and then like arm conditioning. I think a lot of people underestimate just how long that week is of playing and what a toll that like takes on your arm, especially if you're a corner player or if you're going to be like a high volume thrower. By you reach like day 4 and you're like, well, damn. So working on that, definitely staying in shape, staying healthy. For the team, I would say scouting, trying to get eyes on the teams. Like Alexis said, I think we're going to see a lot of teams that we just really haven't seen before, and you can't just show up to the court without having an idea of their players or their playing style. So, Lex, you want to say anything?
As far as team goes, I definitely agree with what you said. I also think there are some people that I haven't gotten to play with all that much, so I definitely think being able to adjust to that. I mean, I've played with like most of them, but there are some new people that I haven't got to play with yet. So just like even on our team, just like really making sure we can adjust to like what our play styles are, and like me knowing, okay, like this is my teammate is good at this, and this, so I'm gonna make sure that like I set them up for that kind of thing. Individually, definitely just getting more reps in with foam balls, like accuracy, and then with catching, like not going for too many things outside of what I should be. Also working on different types of dodging. I feel like usually in a game I do one and then I stick to that one. So just making sure that I'm like keeping that in mind, that I can do more than one type of movement. If I like get in my, not like in my head, but if I'm focused, I only do like the same thing, I feel like. So it'll be, I just got to switch it up and practice doing that.
Get unpredictable.
Yeah.
Make a bunch of different movements. I like what you pointed out with that, Katie, about like doing scouting on other teams. I know last year Malaysia was not there as a women's team.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested to see like how that team even turns out, like who even makes that roster, because I haven't seen I didn't see a Malaysia team at my first World, so it's going to be interesting to see how you guys scout those players. I know for the men's side, we watch like their I can't remember what it's called, MAD, like their Malaysian league over there, and we like watch certain like top teams and like players that we think are going to make the team because it hasn't been announced yet. You kind of have a good idea, but I think for the women's side, it's like a little bit harder to know who's going to make it, because I know a few of their top players have retired and or are just
Yeah.
not going to travel for World anymore. So we'll see what happens there. I know for Australia, you guys also have like a good understanding of that team, and then Hong Kong, you guys did business against them last World, so I'm excited to see that again. Freaking Greco.
Yeah, that was
insane.
we escaped thanks to Sam, basically.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like just the level so high. Like for scouting for Austria, we were watching like club team videos and that kind of stuff to try and get a handle on the individual players, because you don't see as many like country. I mean, they're not going to see us in USA except for like the Mexico tournament either. So you got to watch a lot of those club games and kind of seek them out. So
You got to spy on them. So
yeah, basically.
last Worlds, last Worlds we y'all got silver. What do you guys think you have to do this cycle to get gold?
Win. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
I think we looking back on like the championship game, like obviously we just played like our worst game at the worst time. You know, like when we played Canada in pool play, I think we lost by like 1 or 2 games. You know, like going into no block, it was like win the no block, you could, tie or something. And then once you're down in the championship, it's like you have to play reckless to try and get back into it. And that didn't work well for us either. So I think just really responding to that kind of adversity, and hopefully having some of that adversity just at a better time during the tournament and not the championship game, so that we can kind of work out those kinks as a team. I think, like Alexis said, we gotta play together a lot, so we know each other, and be comfortable with each other, so that like we're confident when we're out on the court together.
That's a good point. I think like when I watched that round robin game, it was very back and forth, and that felt like the gold medal match to me in that round robin. Like you guys, like every time you lost one, you were like, fuck that, like let me get a point back, and it was really cool. It was like back and forth, and that's kind of what I expected the gold medal match to be.
Yeah.
But I think from what I understand is like I think Canada like really probably watched that game back, and they kind of game planned for I guess from what they saw in round robin, and then they were just executing, and then like our side wasn't, and And that happens sometimes in dodgeball. And unfortunately, like you said, it happened in that match. But I'm not worried about it this year. I have a lot of confidence in this roster that you guys have. It looks really cool. It's a little bit different from last year, but you got the weapon. You got a Hashimoto. No, just you guys have a lot of like different tools that you didn't have last cycle that I think will help you guys a lot this year because now you have like the veteran presence plus the newbies
Mhm.
that you guys can like mold and like make into better players. So I think from now to December, there's just going to be a lot of maybe like Alexis said, getting to know each other better and like understanding each other's play styles. Maybe like doing film sessions together when you don't have to, or like just certain things that like our men's team does is like we'll we'll be like, yo, are you guys busy this Wednesday? And like maybe the coach doesn't even say anything to us, but we'll do like a little mini film session with each other just so we know like what we think, like what we're thinking about in that situation. Like, hey, would you throw this ball or would you not throw this ball? Or just understand your teammates a little better. Um, I don't know if you guys do that already, but maybe that's like some advice from our end.
No,
Um,
I like that idea.
uh,
I think like we're in contact like I'm always texting with like Kate and Brenda, but yeah, like opening it up to like the whole team kind of stuff. And then Alexis is always like texting me dumb stuff. So
Yeah.
just kidding.
Alexis
Sorry, I thought
sounds
about
like
you.
the glue.
God forbid.
I think too because your roster is so different this time around, you have so many players that can do so many different things. It gives you guys
Mhm.
more options too if you have to switch up play styles mid match and make adjustments. You're able to do that more so than maybe, teams of previous cycles, which I think makes this team very dangerous going into this next Worlds too.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we've got like a lot of depth and player options kind of like at all positions and
Exactly.
experience, skill. So I'm excited to see kind of how all the pieces come together. So
I will say too, like the coolest thing that I saw at Mexico City, it felt like that all your women could like play every position on the court. Like you guys were switching it up a lot. Like you were like Katie was playing middle, Alexis was playing middle, Alexis would shift to the corner, like Brenda would go to the middle. It was really cool to see that like there was a lot of different options and looks. I feel like that I haven't normally seen the women's team have. I felt like because of your success in the past, like you guys kind of just kept the same, lineup, which is fine because if you're winning, it doesn't matter. Like you don't have to change
yeah,
anything. But I think now since you have the new women and like the vets, and now you're like, okay, let's switch stuff around, let's make things happen. It looked really good in Mexico City, so I'm very excited to see you guys at Worlds, and even at the practice. Like I'm excited to even maybe take a peek and like look at what you guys are doing at practice. And I think this is a good transition into our first crowdsource question. Well, a little bit of a transition, not really. This is a question from Adam. Is it Pfeiffer?
Pfeiffer.
Yeah. Question for Katie. It says if she had played dodgeball in college instead of softball, or played both, would she have played co-ed 8.5 open as well as no sting?
yeah, I like I said, I was young and ready to do that. So I for sure would have played both. So I mean, I think I was 27 when I first started playing, and I was playing 8.5 then. So if I was uh, younger and in college, I would probably be like, sure, this is fine. Concussions every other
That's fair.
weekend. I'll shake them off.
Just blocked.
Yeah, we gotta check the CTE and Alexis.
Yeah.
So I like my 8.5 days. I wouldn't do it now, just too old, but it was a good time. So I would for sure do it if I had been in college.
I just remember getting hit and starting to like cry. So We'll be. I'll see what happens with this NDA tournament.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, which one are you
I
going to?
forgot you doing one.
I'm going to the. Is it Dayton or
Yeah.
Columbus?
Well, it was
One of
supposed to be
those.
Columbus. I think it's Dayton now. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to Dayton.
All right.
I'm gonna
I will
die.
see you there.
I feel like
this is so
there's
good.
gonna be a target on my back.
Oh
Probably.
my god.
Honestly, if somebody's running at me with a pinch ball and they get really close, I might just jump out of bounds. I'm not. I'm not getting it.
I mean, it
Or,
is
like,
it's soft
The welts
boundaries.
you're gonna have are gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
soft boundaries.
No,
Or
I
maybe
know
I'll be like,
Jeremy.
what would the weapon be?
That's fair.
Just try to catch it.
I know Jeremy's gonna be holding his breath all weekend.
Oh, I know.
Hoping you don't get
It's
hurt.
only one day. It's only one day. It's only one day.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
No, that's true. Just don't get hurt, please.
No. If
All
some
right.
of the people I know that play pinch don't get hurt, I should be fine. I should be fine. We can knock on wood too.
That's true too. Let me do that. All right, Ashley Bossino. Y'all don't know her. Weapon out in Canada. Question for Katie Sanchez. What was going through your head when you made those back-to-back catches against Rack Attack during the Thing semifinals? And congrats on the win. Happy for you and Invasion.
I do know Ashley. She played with Invasion at the New Orleans Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
So she was great. And then she's on the Canada. It's
Caffeine
not
and
the
Co.
team, but the practice squad kind of thing they have going on now. So congrats to her too.
Yes, sir.
So to answer a question, like before I made the catches, I actually messed up because I had a ball in the corner and I think Grace had a ball in her corner and I threw my ball too soon. And so I was like, oh, well, I screwed this up. And then I think Grace threw away the other ball and I was like, okay, well now this is bad. And so I was like, well, I guess it is what it is. So I didn't have anything else to think about except trying to catch. So I did feel like you guys are good catchers. Like, you like see the ball really well and you're like, oh, this is like, I felt like I just saw the balls really well. So that kind of felt good. And it obviously I hadn't been playing well that day. And so it felt really good to like do something that important for the team. It was like a big almost relief where it was like, I still can play good dodgeball. So it was pretty awesome and like personally satisfying kind of after the day where I felt like I had kind of struggled. So yeah.
That's
Little
That's
morale
fair.
boost. Little double catch.
yes.
Yeah, for sure, morale boost. So Eric Jones was on the sideline, who's like also one of the old dodgeball players, and he was cheering, and so it was fun to have him on the sideline watching
Nice.
too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Shout out Eric Jones.
Oh yeah, I love that guy.
Best teammate
Damn.
ever.
Same. Yeah, Alexis, we got to get you out to the Thing next
I
year. You
know,
haven't played in one, right?
No, I wanted to go this year,
Not
but it was
yet.
the same weekend as Nationals, so I couldn't. Or else I would have
Oh.
gone. But
That makes sense. But you're out of eligibility. So finally.
Finally.
So, well, you can't win 5 National Player of the Year. So,
Technically, I think women's is not. There's no eligibility on women since it's new.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
Oh,
open. I'm done.
that's fair. All
We
right.
need her going to USA tournaments, so like don't.
Yeah, exactly. You're hanging up the Akron zips.
Yeah,
Easy.
sorry.
Ashley also has a
Nice.
exactly. Ashley has a question for Alexis as well. Question for Alexis: how was the adaptation of playing college dodgeball? No sting. She says bigger balls because I don't think she knows the size of the 8.5 ones compared to the foam ones.
Definitely an adjustment. I remember I went for every single catch that I could, and then I realized they're a lot harder to catch. It was
Yes.
so bad. I will say I didn't step out of bounds as much as I thought I would in my first tournaments, since colleges saw boundaries. Other than that, I mean, a lot of it transferred over pretty nicely, honestly, but there were definitely some like strategy things. Like I rarely ever just like move out of the way to dodge. I would just block the ball, and then in film people were like, you should probably try to dodge it instead. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I mean, there are definitely a couple things that were a decent difference, but and like the shot clocks are completely different. So I would just throw way too much, because college is, for both divisions, is 2 separate shot clocks, and it resets only on your throw. So if the other team throws, you still have a shot clock, no matter what. It's like your own. So I would always throw more than I should have, but I have learned. But yeah, it was a little bit of an adjustment, but
That makes sense. And then she also says, congrats to you both on the Team USA activation as well.
thank you.
Thanks.
Let's see. Hope Jubinville asks, what would be, has a few questions. First, what would be your proudest dodgeball accomplishment at this time? And what is something you still hope to accomplish in your dodgeball careers? Question for both. All of our questions are for both of you.
Alexis, you go.
All right. Proudest dodgeball accomplishment was definitely the very first, winning the first women's nationals that Akron won, because that was a team that was very near and dear to my heart, because there wasn't a women's team before then. That was like the first year for the league. So it was just such like besides, I think there were 5 of us on the team who had played before, but I think we had like 15 people. Like there were so many new people that year, and just seeing them grow and develop, and then ending out national champions for our first season, it was like, wow, like all our hard work, like we didn't even think this women's division was going to be a thing, and now it's like here. So just seeing not only the growth of the league, but also getting to experience that with my team was such like a huge moment. Like I remember we ended up getting on like Fox 8 News and like other like a news channel. We like played a whole like morning segment, like a full like not a full game, but like we played against a lot of people on the news too, and they like recorded it. It was so cool. But it was such like a hyped up event that it was like huge. So that was probably my what was your other question? Oh, over
yeah, like, and then what do you hope to accomplish in your dodgeball career still?
World's gold medal. Easy.
Easy. What about you, Katie?
So I kind of have two. One is our gold in Cancun. I feel like I kind of had like a lot of people don't know this because you guys haven't played long enough, but I made the team in 2017. That was like my first year. And then I didn't play all that great. And then 2018, I was an alternate, and they like activated me at the last minute because, I did my role as an alternate. Like I was, hyping up the team. I was doing drills with them. I was going to practices that I didn't really have to do, kind of stuff. I had like a good attitude about it. And so then I got chosen for the team in 2019, and I worked really hard at that. So I was really like personally proud of myself for kind of coming back from, because being an alternate or whatever, you can kind of have a bad attitude about it and be like, but I really worked hard in 2019, and obviously the team winning a gold, like, kind of validated all of that hard work. And it, it's really process oriented. And so it was nice to be kind of like rewarded at the end of that whole process. So that would probably be like just that entire experience that year. It was like, okay, I deserve to be here kind of thing. So that was probably one of my biggest accomplishments. Yeah.
It's a cool story.
Yeah.
And then what do you've accomplished a lot. I mean, you 4-time medalist, you got 2 golds. Like what else do you still want to accomplish
I mean, obviously this year we want to win a gold. And I think a part of that is like trying to make myself a valuable teammate to like the newer players and getting them to have like their best experience so that, because obviously I, can't do this forever. And so making sure that they feel like set up to, take over in the years to come. And so kind of that whole idea and, working with players like Alexis and Katie and everybody else who's on the team, like Aurora, and making sure that they feel set up for success.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm really excited to see the next core group kind of developed and kind of like the changing of the guard and like you guys passing the torch over the next couple cycles as well. Yeah, I hope also asks, how would you like to see dodgeball as a sport develop over the next few years, and what specifically would you like to see from the women's game?
Personally, big picture, I want to see us get more youth involved, like players who are coming from college, and developing kind of even the like U20 system or team that like Mexico has, to keep an eye on those players and get them ready. And I like the combine kind of thing where it's like all of those players getting together. I would almost want us to do that more regularly, to work on that talent pool so that they're the players that are like new to the combine are getting 2 or 3 times playing with and against the experienced players.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I would say just like growth in the US outside of like the hotspots of where it is now. Because I feel like, I mean, like, yeah, like there's like, at least like there's a club where I live and like a lot of people have that opportunity, but a lot of people also don't because there isn't a club by them. So just like expanding more, that way we could have more like USA rounds wherever, so it could be more accessible to more people. Because a lot of times like traveling is hard for a lot of people, especially if they're like closer together. So if we had more tournaments, they'd overall be more spread out and they just give more opportunities for people to play.
Yeah, kind of like what you were alluding to with, Ohio, like more growth in that area and stuff like that. We can get more college kids to drive there and stuff like that. Kind of to Katie's point with the youth and like the U20s and thinking about like your college women you played against, like how easy do you think would it translate from the women playing no sting to having them kind of like transition into like the women's foam realm?
I mean, I think
Or
no sting to
cloth.
foam is when
Or
yeah.
cloth too. Yeah. Shout out
I
Allie.
I think that no sting to foam would be an easier route than I feel like no sting to foam would be a good route, and I think that any girls that like the 8.5 pinch would do well at cloth. But I mean, then again, I played 8.5 pinch and I like foam better. But I don't think it would be that big of like a transition or that hard to pick up. I mean, at first it was a little overwhelming, but you get the hang of it once you play a little bit. So it's just that initial like investment of, I think, traveling to a tournament where you don't really know all the rules is a little overwhelming. But
Yeah. Do you think there's an opportunity to, I don't know, like I think of like Cactus Dodgeball, like Katie, you guys are out in like Phoenix area. Like, do you ever
Mhm.
think that there's opportunities to do kind of like recruiting where we set up like a USA Dodgeball, like I don't know, tent at like ASU? Have you guys like done stuff like that to like try and recruit
Yeah, I think
people in the
that's
past?
definitely like now that Tony and I are in charge, it's kind of like what are our next steps? And I think some of those things are things that we're thinking about and wanting to do, is like, how do we get more eyes on us? The other side of that is figuring out, like, okay, now we have the demand, how can we satisfy them? And that's like adding more nights and more events, and then it becomes like a who's going to run that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
you just got to be intentional when you kind of put that stuff in place, is to make sure that you've got the organization or infrastructure to do it. So, but that's for sure stuff that we've talked about. So it's just a matter of getting it into the next stages.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm interested to see like how they're recruiting, like how we go about it within the next like couple of years too. Another question Hope asked.
We got Alexis, bro.
Oh, sorry.
We got Alexis. Alexis can scout for us. Get her
Yeah,
all these
that's
NCDA things and the college girls, and just be like, "Hey, come play."
Well, I mean,
They're coming to national. I've got a group. We're doing women's no-sting, but then I don't know how many of them are playing other ball types. I know some of them are doing mixed for sure for no-sting. I encourage them to do other ball types, but I don't know if they are. So we'll see.
well, like her Akron team, like they won the Hamilton round, right? Like y'all,
Yeah,
was that basically like your team?
It was like 3 Akron, and then we had like a couple NCDA alumni, and then a couple like rookies who are currently in the NCDA. So a mix of teams. Mostly like Akron had like the most people, but there was only 3 of us.
Okay.
So.
And then I know,
well, you're talking to the talking to the king of no-sting right here, dude.
I haven't touched a no-sting. I haven't touched a no-sting ball since nationals last year, and I won't at all this year.
I think that's usually when we all end up doing it.
Outsiders doesn't play.
Love no-sting.
Never.
Outsiders doesn't play no-sting, and I'm okay with that.
That is true. We don't do that. Alexis, you guys have men? Do you guys have men for your mixed no-sting team?
I am on a mixed no-sting team. Yeah.
Yeah, chosen. Yeah, it's just too bad.
Okay, what about the NCDA girls? Do they have men?
I don't know if they're still looking. I know a lot of them.
Some of them are playing mixed. Yeah. I was about to say, me and Bo go and play with them.
All right, I can ask them and see if any of them are still looking.
When he says me and Bo, he means Shoda will go play with them. By the way.
I know Dylan's looking too, so maybe me, Bo, and Dylan. Who knows?
All right, fine. The trio we'll go play. Whatever. Let's see. Hope also said, we kind of touched on this already, but many players that play 7-inch foam come from a variety of dodgeball backgrounds: rubber, pinch, no sting foam, big foam, etc. How do you think those different experiences translate into an individual player's game? We've kind of already touched on that, I think, unless there's anything you wanted to add, but I feel like we covered that.
I don't think so.
Okay. Also, and then what's a fun fact, a fun non-dodgeball fact about yourself? Could be an interest, a hobby, jobs, pets, anything.
Ooh.
The one I will normally share when I get asked this is that I was like a national champion jump roper in like elementary school.
Okay.
I need photos or it didn't happen.
Got that footwork.
We had
That's so cool.
we had little uniforms and jumped, and I had like a partner, and we did like a synchronized choreographed jump roping routine.
Whoa.
And we would go to like competitions.
Let's go.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Niche sport queen.
Yeah, apparently.
That's amazing.
See, dodgeball is usually my fun fact. I like building Legos. That can be my fun
Legos.
fact.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we went to when we went to the mall in Mexico. We went to that Lego store.
Yeah.
Like we made a little side quest going to the Lego store for Alexis to try and find a Lego set.
I didn't get anything.
Nice.
No.
About it.
It's kind of a bad ending to that story. It's like didn't get anything.
Damn. All right, Cloud. You don't know Cloud from Atlanta. He's from Penn State, I want to say. Yeah, throws wicked hard. Favorite ball type, asks favorite ball type in order. 8.5, cloth, foam, and no sting. So if you had to rank them in order.
Oh, I would do foam, cloth, no sting, 8.5.
Same.
I would probably do 8.5.
Whoa.
Then I think I'd probably say no sting, then foam, then cloth, just because I feel like I'm a much better catcher of no sting balls, which I really enjoy. So
Damn.
that's why I go foam.
So it's like we're forcing you to go to Worlds to play foam.
No,
It's like this is my third favorite. I'll just casually be
have
on the
fun with
national
foam.
team though.
Yeah.
And it's kind of nice though, because like I love 8.5, but sometimes it hurts so bad. So it is really nice playing foam. I'm like, okay, like
Yeah.
so.
You can get chested by a foam ball and it won't leave a mark.
Depends
all
on
right,
who's throwing it.
That's true. Catch him might leave a mark on us still.
Bro, Cedro made my ears ring, and I only have 1 ear that works, bro.
That's true. You got to protect that one ear. Simon Harrison, you don't know Simon from New Zealand, hilarious. If you get a chance to go to API, please go to API. It is one of the best tournaments. He asks, who is your GOAT female player?
My GOAT female player. Katie's my GOAT.
Hey.
You have to say that. If it had been Brenda on this, you would have said Brenda.
You don't think I have your back?
I would personally I would probably think of like this is gonna sound dumb, the players I grew up playing against. But Jackie, who was from Tucson, she was like just a sick player. Like she played fast, she threw hard, she was like 5 foot tall, and she just like wrecked people with an 8.5 ball, no less. Like I have this great video of her like hitting me in the face that I'll post every once in a while, just because it's like, core dodgeball memory. And then probably Brittany or Rachel, because they played so athletic. They were both on, well, actually all three of them played on Pop That a lot, but they were like super athletic, played fast paced, and so I always wanted to like play like them. So they would be mine. Kind of historical choices.
Fair.
Go do your research.
Maybe we'll see them in dodgeball history.
Oh yeah, oh my gosh, I need to figure out who runs that AI
I
account
saw that,
because
and I was like, what in the world is this?
yeah, I was like, I'm not bald, I got hair, like
That boy's bald.
I was like, I had.
My theory is it at least needs to be an older player, because the players all mentioned are like my age players.
Yeah.
In a couple of the videos.
Yeah. We're gonna
like
figure out who it is. Yeah.
I feel like it's the Harrison girls. It's gotta be.
Or it could be Alexis, actually, like in her spare time.
It's Alexis.
That's true.
That's funny.
She's like, let me look up a roster from the year I was born and post about some dodgeball players.
I got nerfed at work though. I can only use Copilot on my work phone.
Ouch.
So I'm limited on my AI choices.
Brutal. That's brutal. Okay, yeah, the Harrison twins, that might be. Cause I'm like, they do know all of us, so that makes sense. Okay. Brenda with some rapid fire questions for the both
Mm.
of you. So, Alexis, what has been your career defining moment in college and what do you want it to be for USA? I'm assuming the USA one is probably a gold, but what is the one for college?
Ooh. Um. There was. I feel like I've definitely had a lot of defining moments, but there was a moment we were playing.
She's like, I'm so good, I can't narrow it down.
Shut up. No. There, there is not. There was a moment Akron was doing really well this year, and we were playing Michigan State, and some of the parents were just like going nuts on me. They were saying so much crap, and I was just like, I was so in my head, and like usually I am very level-headed when I play, and this was like I think my third year, and I was just so out of it. And I remember like my coach coming and like calming me down and being like, they're only saying that because you're good. Like that's the only reason they're not gonna say that to, like I was just so in my head that day, and I feel like it just really gave me the confidence going forward that I have now, of like the confidence that I have on the court. A lot of it came from that moment, especially like with my the conversation that I had with my coach after that game, because I'm usually a very level-headed player, so that was like I'd say a career defining moment.
Yeah, I mean, you only had like two.
Michigan State created the weapon.
That's true.
Well,
I mean, you only.
open. But
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I was gonna say you only had two National Player of the Years at that point, but I mean,
Yeah, that was in the open division.
That's fair. How is it playing against? I guess like piggybacking on that, Michigan State. How is it playing against Allie in college?
Oh, it's so much fun. I love playing against Alex. She's like, it's been awesome seeing her development, like from when I started, because when she started, I was in my second year. I was like, oh, this girl's pretty good. And then like as time has gone on, I always love playing her because I know it'll always be a really good game. And like every time, I always try like something new. And like I know how she plays really well just because we play against each other all the time. So it really challenges me to be like, okay, what do I have to do to be here this time? Or like to try to, you know what I mean, switch it up, because she's going to adjust to what I did last time. Because same thing for her.
Yeah.
We play each other all the time, so she knows how I play too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always fun playing her. So
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. She brought one of her teammates to the Minnesota round too. I forget. I think Michaela.
Well,
Yeah, and she's solid.
Yeah.
Too. Solid player. So I hope she also starts traveling. KED, what is a career defining moment for you in your dodgeball career? Brenda asks.
So I already mentioned Cancun, like that was super meaningful to me.
Yeah.
Another thing that I did was back when it was, I think it was still Elite Dodgeball. At the Nationals, I won like the women's MVP. So that's like the overall tournament thing. So that felt really good. I was still playing on an Arizona dodgeball team at the time. And I think we got like third maybe or fourth or something. So it was, but I played really well in 0.5 neutral zone and stuff. And so that went really well. And my biggest memory from that, I think it was in New Orleans or something. And they did like an after party, and I had been drinking a little bit at that time. And I went up to get my award, and everybody else went up and got the award and went and sat back down. But I went up and got the award and gave a speech about,
That's all right.
Basically about women's dodgeball and how proud I was of all of us. So that was really well received. So that was fun. I was like, well, I don't think you're supposed to talk, but I'm going to talk anyways. So
is that on video?
That's all right.
That was a good memory.
You got to own the moment. I like that they do MVPs this year. That was a changer. They brought them back. Our male MVP for Open is gonna be a good one from this past weekend. So we're excited for that one to come out.
Do you
But I
guys
think
collude and get somebody
no, it was a
voted
total
in?
shock. It was a total
Oh,
shock.
okay.
But it's funny to us.
Okay.
It wasn't even
uh
our doing. It wasn't even our
no, what
doing. That's the craziest
wasn't
part.
yeah, it wasn't. I just know it ahead of time because I'm a part of the social media team. Um
Mm.
but I told like Shota, so like he knows. But we were like, how is this possible? But it's funny. All right. Next question for Alexis. What are your 3 favorite things about Katie?
Ooh, 3 favorite things. How could I only pick 3? Sense of humor. Doesn't take life very laughs things off easily. Doesn't takes life serious enough, but like not too serious. And her aesthetic second coffee photos.
Okay.
I always slide up.
All right. All right, Katie,
Yeah.
build a mixed team of 6 players, 3 women and 3 men of only Bravo stars. So I'm assuming you're a big Bravo fan, like
Oh
what
yeah, love. Like,
Vanderpump Rules, Love Island, like
well,
Oh,
Love Island's not Bravo,
gonna say
oh
real
shoot.
quick.
Okay, sorry.
so
What else?
it's
What
on.
else is on
It is
Bravo?
on Peacock though, so you're getting them all mixed up.
Okay.
So, it's like the Housewife shows,
Oh, Housewives.
Vanderpump,
Okay. Yeah.
Below Deck.
Below Deck. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm lucky you showed this to me ahead of time, like 5 seconds ahead of time. So I've had a lot
I had to
of
work today. Okay.
we have jobs.
Yes.
So I chose Luke and Hannah from Summer House because I know they're athletes. Hannah played college tennis.
I know who those people are.
Okay.
Yep.
Rocky from Below Deck because I feel like she'd be athletic. She was crazy, and you always kind of need a crazy person.
Okay.
Then I kind of got stuck on the guys again, so I picked Joe Gorga because he seems like he might have been an athlete, but he's kind of old. Brad from Southern Hospitality because he's in shape. He's like personal trainer. And then Ariana
Okay.
Maddox because I love her. Ooh. Yeah.
I second the last one.
They're like the guy athletes.
That's fair.
I'm like, they're just all old cranky guys mostly.
Bravo athletic guys.
Yeah.
Athletic guys. I mean, this is like a great like Chat GPT question. Like Bravo, like oh well, this is like from an article from 2016, so that's probably not gonna be relevant.
Well, I would know all of them from 2016.
But like 5 Bravo lebs you didn't know were major athletes. Kelly Kaloran,
Oh no.
Ben
Not doing her. She's
Tankard,
like too crazy.
Rocky Dakota, Annabelle Nielsen, and Holly Rillinger
I don't recognize them.
from okay.
Rocky though,
Not
I got
important.
Rocky.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Okay, but do you think they're going to be successful?
No.
Okay. That's fair.
Downer.
All right, Alexis, would you rather make a game-winning catch or a game-winning throw?
Catch. I feel like it's more hype.
I agree.
I agree with that.
It's a lower percentage play. If you're me, especially. So.
Not if it's a no sting ball.
If it's a no sting ball, that's true, I guess.
Those
But
like
yeah.
those group throws, like you're throwing like all 5 balls at like the last person in though, like those are pretty celebratory. Like if you're just like, hell yeah, we're winning this game.
Mhm.
and you're like, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
It's such a lonely feeling when you're the everybody that they're throwing at. You kind of just like uh, all right. Katie, last question for Brenda. What is your favorite non-dodgeball memory from any worlds that you've played at?
This is like a leading question. So one of them is we went and saw the Northern Lights in Edmonton, and that was like super cool. I got to go see them like twice, and that's
Fire.
just something you see in like pictures and stuff, and you never actually think you're gonna get there. So that was unique. Like I'm not really sure if that's something I'll ever see again. But one of the memories is when we were in Cancun, we took like the bus. I think we were coming back from dinner. We did like Thanksgiving dinner down there at like Bubba Gump Shrimp because
Okay.
it was the only semi-American restaurant that could handle that many people. Like the whole team went, both teams. And I think we took the bus back, and Brendan knows the story better, but we ended up with like these coconuts that had fallen off a tree. And Cece was with us, and Cece speaks Spanish, and she got the resort like groundskeeper guys to help us open them, and they like legit just pulled out a machete and like chopped right into those coconuts, and we just like drank fresh coconut juice like in the the groundskeeper shed outside of our resort. So that was pretty unique.
That's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was fun. Just like a weird trip, like going from the Bubba Gump Shrimp to like the city bus in Cancun to like eating coconuts is kind of crazy. So that was cool.
That's pretty cool. All right. A question from Marcus Morgan. Shout out Heat. Alexis, what has been the hardest step to staying focused as one of the top players in all 4 ball types?
Ooh, staying focused. I feel like just like knowing, or not that I've learned, knowing what skills I do well with in each ball type, because I definitely change my game based on the ball type that I'm playing. So just like overall knowing like what I need to do. Like in 8.5 pinch, I am going to go for a lot more catches than I would in foam, or I'm going to be a little more aggressive than I would in foam, I feel like. Kind of thing.
You got
That makes sense.
you got any tips? You got any tips for me for 8.5 pinch?
Don't get hit 'cause it'll hurt. No, you definitely go for more catches. They're a lot easier to catch. Definitely take time before you start and have them throw at you, but have them start throwing at you like pretty soft, because like it takes a while to warm up with those. Even for me, like I have my teammates throw me and like it's so soft at first. Definitely, you'll be going for more catches. Blocking more. The ball's bigger. You can hide behind it more. Do less dodging and more blocking, I would say.
Okay.
And then,
Wow.
yeah. Also, just know where it is soft boundaries, so it's interesting to get used to, kind of. But I don't know if I have any advice for that. Just know where your boundaries are.
Perfect.
That's good.
Thank you.
That's crazy. We were lining out like crazy in Alabama last weekend, so I don't know if we want to practice soft
Oh
boundaries.
yeah. But those lines were confusing. I'm not gonna lie. I was playing right corner and I literally dodged out of bounds and I looked at the ground and I was like, dude, where am I? I haven't done that in forever.
Yeah. I also lined out at the midline. I hit the last person to win the set, but I lined out and lost the set twice. I did it once in open and once in mixed.
Oh no.
And I was like, all right, I'm gonna retire, I think. All right. Pau Castillo from Mexico asks 2 questions. One, what is the key to playing in a final? While playing hard but keeping calm at the same time?
I think it's just knowing like your play style and like your team's play style, like whoever's on the court with you, so that you're like comfortable in that situation. For me, that's like communicating with the person on the court. And then also for me, it's like reminders of like, especially in foam, like Alexis talked about it a couple times. Like I grew up playing dodgeball at 8.5, so like that was a very like kind of sedentary style. Like blocking's easy, you didn't have to move, and so in foam, I have to like constantly remind myself to like switch into that style and like play more athletic and move my feet more, and like bigger dodging movements than my body is honestly like used to. So that's what I have to do.
I think also just like in big games, making sure you're not almost putting the other team on a pedestal. Like, I'm not saying don't take them seriously, but also like you're there for a reason, and it's not like they're in the same boat as you. You know what I mean? Like they have to play you. You need to look at it that way, kind of.
Mhm.
So
I love that.
Yeah, like don't make the game too big. Type. That makes sense. And then she also asks, how did you guys build such a strong female team, and how do you try to get the best out of each teammate?
Katie pays me to be friends with her.
Okay, so money. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like
My
I
salary.
look up to. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I was making a joke.
I feel like when I came to Team USA, all of the, especially people with like so much experience, were so willing to help, and like every little thing, every time I had a question, they were right there. Every time like they saw something, they told me. I just feel like being so open about being critical of your teammates really helps the development process, I feel like.
I think that, yeah, like just to build on that, is like recognizing like what people need help working on, and then also like understanding what everyone's role on the team is. So, and then also like you have to have an ego in the sense of like knowing that you belong there and everything else, but you also have to keep that in check sometimes for, like if you're not playing your best, like who is playing better than you right now, or are you playing great? Like are you the hot hand? Like knowing that and understanding that kind of like in the moments.
Yeah, I feel that.
That's a good answer.
Great answers. All right, so we have two more people with questions. Lucas asks a couple. Gives you guys kind of a challenge. You have 12 months to train brand new Dodgers and making them into world champs. What are your first steps? Like, what are you first teaching them?
Throwing mechanics, for sure. Because not everyone comes from a throwing background. And I feel like that start them all on like a good, solid foundation.
Yeah, that's what I would say too. I think that's what a lot of women players in general could improve on, is like their speed and accuracy of their throwing, just by working on that.
Yep, that's a good call. Is there anything in the I like this question a lot. Is there anything the dodgeball community can do right now to support women in dodgeball? Maybe like anything we can do more of to support you guys.
Like to support, I don't know. There's a lot of ways to read that question. It's like support women who are trying to get into it, or like
Could
our
be
team.
be
Yeah.
like support women, trying to get them more involved, or
Yeah.
maybe even like supporting you all that are already in it, supporting women players at tournaments, things like that. Like those are just things that like I think about like
Yeah.
as a male player.
I liked one of the biggest changes, and I don't know just when it happened even, was when they switched from doing like a 4-2 to a 3-3 in mixed. Like I thought that was a really big change, and I don't know how much it affected the development, but it made the women players have to be more important to those teams. You know, for a lot of teams it was like, oh, just you're our 5th and 6th option for throwing, and then it's like sit there and go for a catch, and it's like, well, now they have to be involved in the offense, so then they're automatically playing you know, against harder throwing competition than you are in just women's, and they have to be better throwers and they have to be more agile. So I think that was a great change. I know a lot of people weren't happy about it, but I think now nobody really has any complaints about it. Like that's just how it is. I think for women coming in, it would just be, again, making sure they feel like welcome and they have that success right away in whatever they're doing. Like when new players come into Cactus, I always try to emphasize like, what are the dodgeball skills that you can do? And it's like, okay, a lot of people in general, not just women, like are not good throwers at the beginning. Just because throwing a foam ball is so different than even if you come from a throwing background of anything. So I'm like, okay, you can dodge, you can catch, you can be the person who goes up and gets the balls in the neutral zone and like, you know, blocks or whatever for your team, like draw a lot of throws and that kind of stuff. So I think it's good for them to see that they can be valuable in more ways than just being a thrower.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree with Katie, just making sure that they feel welcomed. I mean, I will say in like the Team USA environment, I felt very welcomed when I first came. Like I felt like I was very appreciated but also respected. So, but yeah, just making sure that they feel welcomed.
Yeah. I think that's a huge part of it too. Yeah, cool. What were both of your first impressions of dodgeball?
I kind of talked about mine already. Like I took to it really well because the skills are really similar to the sports I had already been doing. And you know, being there, you feel like if you feel like you're going into a community that's opening and welcome to you, like that's automatically a draw for a lot of people, especially in like, you know, rec sports kind of stuff, because that's what most people are doing it for, is they're looking for like a group of people that they can do an activity with, and they don't just like show up and then leave. They want more out of it than just that.
I remember for me, like my first practice that I went to, which was Pinch and Snowsting wasn't around yet in college, I really liked the intensity of it, but I was also so scared. I was like, hopefully a couple of these guys who throw so hard just don't throw at me, like throw at other people, because I was really nervous at first. But I really like the intensity of it.
That's fair. And then last question from Rick Leaf. Shout out all of his documentaries and videos. Is there anyone that you guys have partnered or patterned rather your play style after?
Do you have something? I don't know.
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
You can also go.
No, you
when
go.
I first started playing for Pinch, I modeled it after, there's a kid from Grand Valley named Ben Smart. He's a smaller guy, but he's very tactical, very intentional with everything that he does. Like throws are always so crisp, and he's just so knowledgeable about the game. I feel like I tried to model my game after him because I knew that there's a lot of guys, at least in Pinch, that just go out there and just overpower people. And like he's an amazing player, but he doesn't always just straight overpower people. He also outsmarts them. Ironic for the last name, Smart. But yeah, I really liked that about him. So I always watched a lot of film of him.
Okay.
I was gonna say not really I wouldn't like pick out a particular player and take like their entire part, but I like watching a lot of different players and like seeing how they move on the court and what kind of stuff they do. Like Karina, like I love watching Karina play, because some people play dodgeball like so. I feel like it's pretty to watch them, and she's one of those players who I feel is like always like could do something cool at any second, and I'm like, okay, how could like I probably couldn't do all the things she does, but like what's something that I could do? There's a few things that Brenda does that I want to try and do, that kind of stuff. So those kind of things.
Makes sense. Yeah, cool. Joe, any last questions?
I'm good. Thank you guys for
Cool.
hopping on.
Any last
Yeah.
shout outs or anything for either of you guys?
Shota, tell Aurora that I can't wait to give her a hug at the next tournament.
Okay.
She can probably hear us right now.
She's doing schoolwork right now. She's locked in.
Okay.
Aw.
Lock.
But I will tell
Nice.
her that.
Nice. Any other shout outs?
I got nothing.
Dang. No shout out to
Dang.
NCDA, NDA. Nah.
All right. Who is somebody that you guys want to see on our pod?
Oh.
See, I would have said Katie, but she's already here.
I don't know, maybe some of the older, like an older player like my age.
You should get Brandon Officer. I love listening to him talk about dodgeball.
Yeah.
I think he's so knowledgeable. He held meetings for like our mixed team, and
Yeah.
I just learned so much. And like I thought I already knew a lot, but I just feel like he's so knowledgeable.
Yeah.
He's a
He
smart
did
guy.
help us. He did help us get prepared for selection camp. So I enjoy Brandon Officer a lot. So he would definitely be a good one.
My old
And
roomie. We used to talk dodgeball all the time. I agree with that. That'd be a good episode. Anybody from like NCDA, NDA you want to see?
Ooh, NCDA,
That'd be
NDA. I'd probably have to think on that. I think there's a lot of good options. Depends
Alright,
on what you
cool.
want.
We will
If
do
you want
like a collab episode. We'll have
collab.
like a USA dodgeball and NDA dodgeball episode. Maybe we can become friends and
we
like
can
play
bridge
together
the gap.
one day.
You should get Leo on here. Rockmore. He's a big NDA
Okay.
guy.
No rock. Okay, we'll
Okay.
put that in the list.
He's really
Put
athletic.
that in. And then Katie, you said somebody from let's see.
An old player.
I'm trying to think. I mean, Karina would be good.
Karina would be great. She's I don't know. I don't think she's played quite as long, but she's played long enough, and she's she has a lot of interesting experiences also. So I love her.
Yeah. I know Brenda's been on a couple recently.
What about like Glenn Spacer?
Oh yeah.
Glenn's been playing for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Played
like-
against him for a long time.
Cool. Okay. We got some good options. We do have a laundry list of people to get on here for sure. So, but yeah, like Sho said before, this was the women's foam episode. We have men's foam with Andrew, Kim, and Xander coming up on Monday. This is Thursday right now that we're recording. And then we have mixed foam. We have men's, women's mixed cloth coming up as well. So a lot coming up. We also have Beast Coast this weekend. So me and Sho are both captaining City. I am captaining Boston. He is captaining Atlanta. So We will see who comes out on top this weekend. You're facing the wrong way on my screen.
I'm facing the right way on my screen.
You're facing the opposite way. There, that's better. But we'll see how it goes. I think the schedule's out, but I don't remember if we play each other
It's
in round
out.
robin.
No, but you're going down either way.
Yeah, whatever. But shout out to you guys for hopping on. We appreciate the time and the insight. Really excited for you guys to perform at Worlds. I'm excited to watch. And shout out to all the listeners. You guys have been crushing it listening. We're almost at 640 consumption hours, which is insane. I don't know, listening to us yap, which is insane. And all over the world too, like Hong Kong, Singapore, Italy, Spain, France, the Netherlands. So really everywhere. So I don't know why you guys are listening to us, but we appreciate it. It's for so long. But appreciate you guys and all the support. It means a lot. So episode will be on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music. Later tonight, so go check it out. But yeah, for the ladies, Show and Bo. See, I don't know how to ever end these.
Let's go win some gold in Thailand.
Yes,
Hell yeah.
That's the goal.
absolutely. Sweep 6 for 6. All right,
I'm
let's
down
go.
with that.